Syracuse, NY, Anna Short Harrington is buried in Oakwood Cemetery in Syracuse, gaining notoriety before her death in 1955 for portraying Aunt Jemima for Quaker Oats for 14 years. She moved to Nedrow, New York, in the 1920s from South Carolina. Harrington worked as a maid for a white family in the area and later as a cook for Syracuse University fraternities. It would have been a very primary occupation, particularly for African American women at that time, said Robert Searing, curator of history at the Onondaga Historical Association, in whatever domestic servitude role, whether it be maid, house cleaner, a cook, that would definitely have been one of the primary avenues of employment for black women, and also for black men. It would be one of the few areas where they could work in northern cities where segregation was obviously rampant. As the story goes, members of the Sioux fraternities loved Harrington's pancakes. This led to her demonstrating her pancake recipe at the New York State Fair. It was there that a representative from Quaker Oats hired her to portray Aunt Jemima. She became a national celebrity, getting flown around by Quaker Oats, giving pancake demonstrations across the country, said Searing. Harrington gained fame and fortune working as Aunt Jemima, and was likely an important figure in the Syracuse black community at the time. Harrington owned a 22-room house on Monroe Avenue, which she operated as a boarding house. Her house, along with many others in the city's 15th Ward, would be lost to urban renewal development and the construction of Interstate 81 in the 1960s. Quaker Oats announced on Wednesday that they are removing the image and branding of Aunt Jemima from their products. The character Harrington had played has racist origins, influenced by mammy characters featured in blackface minstrel shows in the late 1800s. The mammy character really has its roots in vaudeville and blackface minstrel shows, said Searing. Some scholars point to the fact that it was created by whites to romanticize the idea of slavery. Here you have this very happy black woman, this maternal figure who is just so thrilled to be dedicating her life to taking care of white children. The idea that many scholars of American slavery point to this character most likely never existed, but it becomes a popularized figure. The first person to play Aunt Jemima was Nancy Green, who was born into slavery in the early 1800s. According to historians, a man who helped run Quaker Oats at the time was influenced by watching a blackface minstrel show, seeing the potential in using the mammy image for marketing purposes. Quaker Oats began production of Aunt Jemima pancake mix in the 1880s. Green would then be hired to portray Aunt Jemima.